Hello, everyone. This is Duran's Healing, and welcome to tonight's Healing Circle. For those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel where I provide weekly energetic updates for the collective. And if at any point this message resonates with you, please be sure to like, please be sure to subscribe or comment below and let me know how this message is showing up in your world. And for starters, I would like to say that today I was in a bit of a fog, a little bit. But somehow I knew I was going to do a reading tonight, which sparked me up. It made me excited. I'm not particularly sure what this excitement is about. And also, I would like to share, I tried to keep the readings on Mondays and Saturdays, but please don't hold me to a schedule. When spirit moves, and time is abstract. But I would like to get into this excitement or this highly charged energy that I'm picking up on for the collective. And with that being said, let's get right into the messages. And the message that is speaking the loudest is speaking to the fact that you're in between two worlds, in between two thought processes, in between two energetic systems. One being you tapped into the other side, and you also being in the world of the spirit, in the world of magic, in the world of change and transformation. And this may be reflective of the positioning of the nature stones. One of the nature stones is in the earth, and the other is in nature. And in the middle is the transformation stone, which lets me know that your world is undergoing a deep and profound transformation that's currently in effect. And the fact that the nature stone is in the earth, it lets me know that the core of your being is also being changed. Who you are is changing. And this is not just about you doing things differently, or you're deciding to change the course that you're on. This also speaks to a much more deeper level. It speaks to the change that has been going on at your core. The core of your being is also changing. Changing to something more authentic. Changing into something much more in alignment with the frequency of this planet, with the frequency of the core of your being. And it's important to note how different this may be. Because if I look back on the readings that I've done, the metamorphosis, the changing, you being in isolation, these past few weeks and months, I'm not sure how long. Some of you may have been in this energy for even longer, hiding away, tucking yourself away. And by doing so, this energy and the frequency that you powered in on, the purity of the vibration that you have, is giving you a new identity, bringing forth your level of devotion, causing healing forward and backwards, healing generational curses, and healing the future lineage, because you decided to make a change. You decided to do something different this go round. And the other point has to do with where the nature stone is, and it's in nature, which means that you're in alignment with the authenticity of who you are, with the very essence of your being. And this in itself causes you to be in a position that you have no choice but to do and operate differently. And even on a much more deeper level, this is opening you up in a way, opening up you to see different windows of opportunity for yourself, to see the world in a different light. It's as if the veil has been lifted, and you're now seeing the magic in the very opportunity that you have created for yourself. And you being who you are and listening to the call will take action in a much more different way, in a much more profound way that gives you strength, that gives you courage to be able to stand strong in your power, to stand in exactly who you are, because you're embracing this newness. You're embracing this path. It's as if a cycle has closed for you, and now a new door has opened, giving you the ability to see into the world of magic. Because how is this even possible? By you making a shift in your thought perspective, a shift in your thinking, a shift in your actions. But the truth of the matter here is that you listen to yourself. You listen to the call. Before, you may have denied this part of yourself. You might have told yourself whatever you needed to tell yourself in order to prevent this from happening. But the energy is too powerful for you to stay quiet, or you to sit in a space where you're sedentary. No. You're too sophisticated for that. You're too smart. You're too intellectual to be complacent. The ancientness of your being is tapped into the unique complexity of this world, right? And that in itself gives you permission to be all that you are and to feel everything that you know to be true without denying it. This is segueing you towards your wisdom. This keeps you out of the position of being too much of an intellectual, being a philosopher, and being thought-provoking. It goes beyond that. This has to do with a wisdom that is tapped into the very energy of the makeup of this world that you somehow know about in your bones, in your gut, in your intuition, that will not allow your mind to deceive you. It will not allow you to think yourself out of this, because your wisdom is too profound, is too potent for you to ignore. This is the higher message. This is what this energy is about, and this is why it is exciting. You should be excited to step into this space. Finally, you're finally here. This is what you've longed for, and this is what your soul desires. Authenticity, truth, freedom, a spiritual liberation away from ignorance, away from a denial. And this will look different as you fully embrace this this new version of yourself. Embrace this new cycle. Embrace it with openness. Embrace it with ease and grace and utter joy. That with the knowing that you've gone through what you've gone through to get to this point in your life. Some of you have been on this journey for a very long time. And you have gotten close to this point many occasions, but some instance, some challenges or something always arise that veered you off this path. But this time, you finally landed in the right place. This is what you've been waiting for. Period. Wow. Very powerful message. And what I will do at this particular time, I will attempt to shift the energy and see what other messages that the higher energy would like for me to share with you all. And if at any point this message has resonated with you thus far, please be sure to like, please be sure to subscribe or comment below to let me know if this message has resonated in your world. And what I will do is I will pull some cards to see what other messages the higher energy would like for me to share with you all. Give me 1 second. Okay. Card fell out. And the cards that came out were feel it in your heart, gaslighting, and give yourself grace. You've overcame a lot. You have gone through many gauntlets and defeated many tribulations that were presented in your world. Some things that you have gone through, you may still not have the courage to even talk about. You may not have the wherewithal to utter the words of some of the things that you have been through. But what has guided you is something very powerful that was in your heart that you could not refuse. You felt it. You felt it in your heart that you were called to something much higher, something much more deeper and powerful, to allow the tribulations that you have gone through or were going through to defeat you. You stood up against giants. And your heart was so big and so strong. You made it through, getting you to this point in your world that you had to take a break from life because your heart felt it and it guided you to this point. And now what it's calling for you to do is to give yourself some grace. Give yourself opportunity to be relieved and relaxed. You're no longer in a state of survival. You're no longer in the state of a struggle. You have now made it into a new energy, a new world, a new space for yourself that you've always longed to be in a state of peace, in a state of liberation, honor, and dignity, that you didn't compromise what you felt in your heart for the sake of friendships, for the sake of family, for the sake of being and just doing, for the sake of your lower self. You did not compromise. And a lot of people can't say that. Now you live to tell the story. Now you live. You finally have the opportunity to be yourself as is. Getting away from trauma in that way. And knowing now that you have the proper steps, you have the proper treatment to set up boundaries for yourself, to safeguard yourself against the very demons that tried to kill you, that tried to take you over. You have earned your stripes in the battlefield of this spiritual process. Because what this is truly about is you're in this fight against light versus darkness. And you are of the light. Now you're shining so much brighter, so much more clear. And your spirit guides and your spirit team has been there cheering you on every step of the way, because they knew you had it in you to get here, to do what you have done. Now that you have made it here, you can finally wield your power in confidence. No one can tell you who you are. The assertion that you have about yourself is evident of what you have gone through. Wield your power and stand in your fullness of yourself as you embrace this new level. Period. Very powerful messages. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for lending your energy, whether you've liked, you commented a heart, or commented or share your story, or subscribe. You have contributed your energy to my healing circle, and I'm so grateful and I'm thankful for all of you for joining me. And I will see you all at the next healing circle.